Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Presidential D&D Campaign, where AI-voiced U.S. presidents play Dungeons & Dragons with me, Ben Shapiro, your AI Dungeon Master.
Thanks for having us back, Ben. It is nice to be back to posting daily videos and continuing with the campaign.
Agreed. This is definitely the highlight of my week, and to think, just a couple of months ago, I couldn't stand being in the same room as any of you, especially you, Obama. We spent way too much time together for 8 years.
Gotta thank the wonders of AI voices for that, am I right? Anyways, let's get started with a recap, shall we? Obama, would you mind?
Sure thing, Ben. Last session, we started off in Ravenloft. We are not quite sure what domain we are in yet, but we gathered up the townspeople and had them fortify the abbey to try to protect themselves while we are heading to the castle far to the south of the town. We also fought a haze inkling, a sort of octopus made out of fog. Apparently, it was probably a small one, though. I definitely don't want to fight a big one of those. How big was the one that we fought, Ben?
Big enough to rip off a portcullis and destroy the gatehouse of Loudwater. Granted, the gatehouse wasn't absolutely ginormous or anything, but it was still a large stone gatehouse and a wrought iron portcullis.
I could handle a big one of those any day. Honestly, I fight things harder to kill than that haze inkling before breakfast most days. At least that's how it was back in Trumpville.
Weren't you a gladiator or something, Donatello?
Yeah, the best there was.
I thought gladiators are more of just entertainers. Don't you even have an instrument or something that you can play from that background?
That might be most gladiators. I'm the real deal, though.
What instrument do you play?
I don't play an instrument. Hey, give that back.
The lute, huh?
Fine, yeah, I had to choose the lute for my background. I thought that gladiator would be cooler than it was. But Ben made me choose it back when I was explaining my backstory.
Oh, don't feel bad, Donatello. There's nothing wrong with being a gladiator. You're just an actor, that's all. It's an honest living.
I might have been an actor, but I could still whip both of your asses any day. Just think about that octopus thing. I definitely dealt way more damage than the two of you.
All right, guys, settle down and let's get started. Thanks for that recap, Barack. We will start our session on the road, heading towards the castle where you hope to find King Rex. The travel is fairly easy and uneventful, the heavy mist clearing up substantially as the day warms up. You travel through a short stretch of the marsh of Chellenber before it suddenly ends, and you are able to continue along what seems to be an empty field. The mist clears up enough that you can even see the tops of the castle poking out through the mists. Still probably just over a day's journey up ahead, though.
What's the landscape like then? Just like flat fields and the like?
Yeah, short hills occasionally pop out of the mist, but honestly, it is like traveling through Kansas, except there is an extremely heavy mist that still clings to the ground. So instead of being able to see to the horizon, you can only see maybe half a mile in any given direction before the ground is obscured by the mists.
Oh, great, because who wouldn't want to be walking forever in Kansas?
Yeah, that's pretty boring. Any more of those octopus things, Ben?
No more haze inklings. However, you do hear a commotion up ahead, and as you hurry towards it, you see a short man in a colorful red cape standing on top of a small wagon. One of the wheels snapped and broken, and you see a handful of figures trying to climb up as the man swings a cane down at them.
Are they zombies?
You can't quite tell from here.
Yeah, they're zombies.
All right, yeah, as you get closer, you see their rotting flesh and can even smell them. Definitely zombies. Let's roll for initiative then.
Hold up for a second. I thought Thorne said that his whole land was zombies. Are these citizens or are they just zombies?
Does it matter? I thought you were the one who said that zombies are always bad unless they are rich zombies, right?
Yeah, that's fair. I did say that. All right, let's kill them then. Sweet, that's a 21.
I got a 19.
Damn, only an 11. I feel like I haven't been rolling great this season so far.
Well, I got a 7. You're rolling better than I am.
That's not saying much. You missed 3 attack rolls in a row last session. That was pretty terrible.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I should have done the special fog thing before I attacked. Then I would have gotten advantage on it. Oh well, always next time, though.
All right, well, I am going to go attack the zombies.
They're about 60 feet from you, so if you want to get to them with your sword, you'd have to wait until next turn. You could use your action to dash to move further if you want, though.
What? This is rigged. Fine, I'll shoot my crossbow at them after moving the 30 feet.
You have a crossbow since when?
Since the beginning of the campaign. I just never use it because I'd rather be up close and slashing than being a coward so far away. All right, so I'll shoot it twice then.
Actually, since it has the loading property, you can only attack with it once per action regardless of your extra attack.
What? This is so rigged. All right, fine, whatever. I'll shoot it once then. That's a 19 on the dice. Is that still a critical hit because of my improved critical?
Yeah, that is.
Sweet, that's 12 damage then.
You fire a crossbow bolt and it flies true, striking one of the zombies in the shoulder and pinning it to the cart. The other zombies turn and begin running at you, making almost a screeching sound rather the typical zombie groan. You hear the man exclaim as well and jump off the carriage, working on the wagon wheel with surprising efficiency.
Not normal zombies, then? How many are there, Ben?
There's 6 of them.
I'm sure you could guess my next question. Are they close together?
Except for the one pinned to the cart. Yes, they are close together. Your fireball would be able to hit all 5 of them.
Fireball it is, then.
Damn, I got below 10 on all 5 rolls. Since they have a -2 to dexterity, one of them literally got a 0.
Sweet, all right, that is 24 damage, then.
That is going to incinerate all 5 of them, reducing them to nothing more than dust as a huge explosion rocks the ground around you. The man working on the wagon up ahead jumps with fright and then begins running out to where the zombies were. Damn, all gone. You hear him saying,
Wow, nice going, Barack. Those were probably his friends.
His friends, they were attacking him. Hey, man, you okay?
He kneels down in the middle of the smoldering crater, apparently not bothered by the lingering flames of the fireball. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just not easy to capture a feral for my experiments. And they aren't made that often either.
A feral zombie? What are you, a necromancer or something?
Well, yes, of course I am. Don't you recognize me? I am Dr. Necrotech in the flesh. Pun intended.
I'm sorry, Dr. Necrotech, and you're a necromancer. Isn't that something you probably don't want to be broadcasting?
Why would I hide who I am?
Because necromancers are, usually evil.
An evil necromancer? Ha! I never would have thought of that. Usually it's those clerics that you really need to be fearful of. Where are you lot from? Obviously far from here if you haven't heard of me. Maybe over in Neverchar Springs or something.
No, I am from the distant and honorable city of Trumpville. I am Donatello, champion of the arena.
Trumpville, where is that? Is that part of old Cardina's territory? She frightens me, that one.
Well, that answers that question then. We must be in Thorn's homeland. I think he called it Darkon, yeah? He mentioned Cardina while he was drunk way back in that one episode.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
No, you don't, Joden. Stop lying. No, we are from the Sword Coast. It's a different plane than this one.
Oh, really? You are familiar with extraplanar travel then? Interesting. Perhaps this was more than fate that we encountered each other. See, I have been working on a new invention, the Grave Transit System, I'm calling it. It will revolutionize travel, you see. Make it so that one can enter a graveyard here or near the castle, and then poof, you'd be in Mantira Bay before you know it. There are some kinks in the item, though. The last one I sent through ended up more than 6 feet in the ground, and that's no good for anyone you know.
I'm only picking up parts of what you are saying, but that seems useful. How can we help? I'm not going to be one of your test subjects.
Oh, no, nothing like that. Though I can assure you it is completely safe. I definitely worked out that kink, and there should no longer be anyone teleported under the ground. But no, I just need someone in the graveyard observing while I send a feral through from a different graveyard. Is that something you would be able to help me with?
You mentioned that before. What's a feral?
Oh, dear me, my apologies. I'm not used to talking to someone not from here. We don't get many visitors. At least not that the Night Watchers don't take care of pretty quickly. A feral is one of the citizens who, well, needs a reboot, let's say. They have lost their sanity and their mind. Undeath does that to you.
So you're undead then?
Well, yes, of course. Everyone here in Darken is undead, except for perhaps those shadow shippers. Interesting folk they are.
All right, why did you say they need a reboot? What does that mean?
Well, kill them, I mean. After you kill a feral, it'll take a couple days, but then they'll come back as their happy self. Nightmare for the prisons, as I'm sure you can imagine. Immortal inmates are quite the problem.
But obviously they aren't immortal. We just killed those zombies.
For a bit, yeah. It'll make more sense once you make it to Castle Avernus. You are heading to the castle, yes? At least that is the only thing this far south from Ilaluk.
Yeah, we are going to the castle. We need to talk to King Rex.
Good luck with that. Now, for my experiment, there is a graveyard not more than 3 miles further south. A battle was fought there just after the eclipse. If you camped there tonight, I can make it to the eastern yard early tomorrow morning.
And what do we get for this?
Besides the honor of working with Dr. Necrotech himself, well, you'd have one of the Grave Transit System keys for your own personal use. After I work out the kinks, of course. And I can give you a discount on one of my other marvelous inventions as well, if you would like any of them. Who am I kidding? Of course you would.
What other inventions do you have?
Well, perhaps I can interest you in one of my newer inventions. Hasn't even been seen in Ilaluk yet. I call it the Sight Stealer. He holds up a bloody eyeball and then spins it around, revealing 2 rows of razor-sharp teeth in the back of it. It truly is marvelous. You see, just place it on someone's eye, and it will eat the eye, implant itself in the victim's skull, and then you can use this. He pulls out a small flat stone to see whatever the person can see. If you did it while they were asleep, they'd never know that you had stolen one of their eyes. The Night Watchers are going to pay top dollar for these, you see. Of course, there are also bone spikes, cursed candles, swarm callers, orb of obscurities, anything you could find in a typical necrotech store.
All right, how much for the Sight Stealer?
Well, I promise to give you a good deal. How about 60 shadow shards and you have a deal?
How much gold is that?
Oh, gold? All right, you drive a hard bargain. 85 gold pieces and it's all yours.
That isn't cheap, still might come in handy. How many do you have?
You're in luck. I have 4 on me. I do need one for the Night Watcher demonstration, but the other 3 are all yours if you've got the coin.
I don't know if we need 3 of them. I'll split the cost with you, though, Barack.
I don't need to split that. I'll take one Dr. Necrotech. What's your real name, though?
It's Alcott, of course. It is strange to meet someone who doesn't know who I am. I don't like being called that, though. Dr. Necrotech is just fine.
All right, here's the 85 gold pieces for me.
I'll give him 45 if you give him 40 Joden.
Yeah, sounds good.
He places a bloody eye and a smooth stone into a bag and hands one of the bags to both of you. Pleasure doing business with you. Now better get to the graveyard quick. Night will be falling soon, and I heard there are some haze krakens down here. Best to keep out of sight once night falls.
Haze Krakens, what the hell is this place, Ben?
It's Ravenloft, or Darken at least.
Well, I don't know if this was a good enough deal, but the grave teleporter thing would be useful probably if he gets it working. Strange guy. I think him and Hamlet would get along great.
Oh yeah, Hamlet would love this place. Shame he didn't get brought along.
Isn't that the guy you killed, Donatello?
Christ, Joe, no, that was Thorn that I killed. Hamlet is the gravekeeper in Southern Edge.
Oh, right, I knew that.
No, you didn't. All right, let's head down to the graveyard then. Will we make it before nightfall, Ben? I don't want to run into those haze krakens.
Yeah, it isn't too far, but still a bit away. Dr. Necrotech walks back to his cart and smacks the remaining zombie on the head. That was awfully mean of you lot to break my wagon wheel. Now you are going to have to pull this all by yourself. He straps a chain around its neck and unpins the zombie from the wagon and then begins walking away. The zombie lurches after him, slowly pulling the wagon behind it.
I think this is worse than the zombie trade in Southern Edge.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Probably. I feel like they should just kill all the ferals then, right?
I think that would make the most sense. I guess maybe the ferals are a bit easier to control.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust him. I guess I'm having a hard time trusting any zombies after what Thorn did.
Agreed. Still, this one seems more eccentric than stab you in the back, you know?
I could agree with that. Anyways, to the graveyard then.
You make it to the graveyard, a large mass burial site with small gravestones with dozens of names on them. As night begins to settle in, you see large misty forms moving out in the distance, dwarfing the size of the haze inkling you fought earlier.
The haze krakens? Yeah, something tells me we don't want to fight those things.
Loudwater might just be destroyed when we get back if those decide to move through it, yeah?
I'd say so.
All right, what do we have to do here then?
The doctor said to wait until morning and then we would see what happens. Long rest then?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm not really missing anything though.
It'd be good to get my action surge back. And Barack used some spells too.
All right, you set up camp in the graveyard, which is rather unnerving. The fog thickens in the night, and you could swear just over the whistling wind to hear scratching sounds coming from beneath your feet. It passes uneventfully, though, and before too long, the sun begins to rise and the mist begins to recede. Now that you are getting more used to seeing in the mists, you do notice that there appears to be a large wall of mist that encloses the land not far to the east and west, forming a large slice of land with a large city to the north, Loudwater in the middle, and the castle to the south.
Interesting place, Darken is. All right, it's morning. Do we see the zombie Dr. Necrotech said he'd be sending through?
Nothing strange or out of the ordinary happens for a while. As the sun continues to steadily rise into the sky, each of you jump as you hear a loud popping sound coming from high in the sky. As you look up, you can see a figure falling fast from probably 1,000 or so feet up in the air. It lands with a sickening crunch, and you can see the zombie that Donatello had pinned to the cart falling crash into the ground.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't test it ourselves, though it does look like he fixed the teleporting into the ground problem.
How do you think we let him know that, though? We still need to head to the castle, and I have no idea where the Eastern Yard is.
Yeah, that's a good question. We should have cleared that up with him before we parted ways.
As if on cue, you suddenly hear the doctor's voice emanating from the zombie body. You see a small cracked skull in the zombie's hand. Hello? Did you find it? How did it go?
Another sending stone type thing. All right, hello, doctor, you still have problems? The zombie teleported like 1,000 feet in the air. It was almost as tall as Trump Tower in Trumpville.
Ah, I see. Well, progress is progress, I suppose. At least he didn't teleport into the ground. All right, well, keep this skull and I'll keep in touch. Let me know whenever you find a graveyard and we can keep tuning this. Goodbye, my mortal friends from far away. All right, well, guys, should we end the session there?
Yeah, I am kind of bummed I didn't get to fight the zombies.
Get in line, pal. I didn't get to fight in the season finale battle. And I am a fighter. Fighting is literally what I do.
I guess that's fair. Are we going to have longer combats this season, Ben? Most of the combats we have had so far don't make it past round 2 or 3. Or round 1 in this case.
Yeah, I think that we will definitely have some longer combats. I think the longest one so far has probably been the Lightning Elemental, but you guys rolled so well that even that one was over pretty quickly.
It would be nice to have a bit more strategy and length involved in a combat. Maybe a combat that stretches out over a session or two even.
I can keep that in mind for sure.
And finally, we can't forget that Thorn seems to be still alive then, yeah? I mean, he would have just been rebooted or whatever the doctor said.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what he meant by that once we make it to the castle then. Valamir is Thorn's last name, right?
I thought Valamir was the innkeeper in Loudwater.
No, that's Vadric. Christ, let's just end the session here, guys. I can't do this again.
Agreed. Well, to our viewers, if you liked the episode and are excited for more of the Presidential D&D campaign, make sure to like and subscribe to help out the channel and stay notified for when our next episode drops tomorrow. Or just set an alarm or something. They release at the same time every day.
Thanks for joining, everyone. We will see you all tomorrow.